in response to what the workers were willing to do. So the movement in Egypt developed already in response to the victories that happened the previous weeks in Tunisia. But the movement in Egypt had been going on, actually. There had been a series of strikes starting back in 2006, 5 years ago. And there was a huge strike in the textile industry in Egypt 3 years ago, in 2008. And out of that, there were student organizations that still existed, underground organizations. And in response to Tunisia, these students said, let's do like a dress rehearsal. We're going to go out in the streets in a working class neighborhood in Cairo, and we're going to start shouting just minimal demands that we know that everyone's in favor of. Cut the food prices, because, you know, around the world food prices have been rising rapidly. Cut the food prices, we want jobs. And they went into, on a Friday, which was a holiday, they went into these working class areas and started to shout that. And they were only a small group, like dozens. People started pouring out of the buildings. And not only were they shouting, yes, let's cut prices, they immediately started shouting, down with Mubarak, down with the regime. So the workers started escalating the demands. And the students immediately said, hey, this is great. Let's go with that. Let's escalate the demands. And they started shouting, down with Mubarak, down with the regime. And this little demonstration started to grow as they moved towards the center of Cairo. This was on January 25th, so just a month ago, until they had tens of thousands of people by the time they reached the center of Cairo. So this is what Luxemburg was talking about, is the activists taking what the workers are willing to fight for and raising it to a more general level. Now, a counterexample is unfortunately what the unions are doing in Wisconsin, but I'll let Jake translate first so I don't get too far.
Okay.